that we are having a very peaceful time or lives, and we should be thankful to God for everything. Uh, I wish well President and his family and all of you. And the reason that I have called for this the biggest press conference so far I've ever had since when I do not know. Wala, binuolan ko din yan. Actually, nothing spectacular except that to say to everybody that we are doing well. And Chacha is again coming up, and if there is any provision at all, if at all, that would need a change or correction somewhere in the charter, let us all cooperate. And maybe suggest to whoever is controlled upstairs what would be the changes that would be down to the benefit of this country. I hope that it will remain that way. The chances are they would come up still, which has always been the excuse to open the charter. I do not want to put forward anything that might, ayaw ko na lang speculate. But if there is any change coming up, well and good, we should welcome it. At saka doon lang, I hope it would not rumble on to some other matters aside from the economic provisions that they would want to amend, change, correct, rectify. Pero ako talaga, up to now, I am still in wonderment kung ano yung why in heaven's name there's always got economic provisions na hindi mo correct noon pa. But that is the usual convenient way of doing things. But leave it that way. I'll go along with it. As long as we stick to the economic provisions. Whatever they want to change there, somewhere, somehow. Yun lang ang akin. That's the long and short of this press con. uh, wala naman akong ibig sabihin. Maybe that I just wanted a big crowd, have it out in circulation, very far from the madding crowd. So, from time to time, gusto ko kayong makita the dialect. It could be something like, Imingaw ko ninyo. Huwag mo umingaw sa ako. Mula, klaro ito ba kayo? So yun lang. Hanggang doon lang ako. For the nonsense. So kasi dyan naman rin ang the progression of things. So I would not want to go ahead forward and overtake us which may or may not come. Parang ganon lang.
It seems like you're not really 100% sure kung if we can trust these people na mag-handle. What if sa gitna ng sinasabi nilang economic lang ang tututukan, biglang na-open yung chance at yung constitutional change natin at biglang pinasok yung terms nila at yung personal interest nila. What shall we do and what can we do? And what will you do?
Well, ganito yan. Whenever you open the Constitution for changes or amendments, you cannot place restrictions or conditionalities na hanggang dito ka lang. When you open a charter change, it's plenary. Hindi mo so we call for a constitutional convention or we call for a constitutional constituent rather, becomes a congruent constituent body by Congress, People's Initiative. Whatever it is, hindi mo malagyan ng restriction. Because when you open it up, it's all for the taking. Plenary talaga yan. So, you cannot place restrictions there.
So it's possible that biglang may isang congressman tatayo and sasabihin niya, I move to for this
to extend our terms like that.
May biglang gumano.
Kaya ako nandito Kaya nag-uusap dito. Not only for any particular office in the Constitution. Ito namang local offices, local government offices are not mentioned in the Constitution. They are defined by one single phrase there about local governments, which will be organized in accordance with law. Ang nasa dyan lang sa Constitution is President, the Vice President, the Senators and Congressmen. The rest ng mga barangay captain wala na hanggang mayor and governor. We are all we are public officials, but we are ruled by the local government. It's not a constitutional office. Yung constitutional offices are those mentioned in the Constitution. So, yun ang, well, that's why ako nandito. But, sabihin lang na yung mga congressman o senador, huwag ninyong pahabain o paiksihin yung termino ninyo, let it be where it is. Sabi, 6 years ngayon o ganon, hanggang dyan lang. Now, any changes that you may want to put forward for posterity, you will do so. Right now, you can begin by the legislation, then to lead up to the opening of the charter for changes and amendment, but it should be progressive. Ibig kong sabihin, tayo ngayon, kami, wala na pala ako sa picture. It's presumptuous, but you tend to forget. Hindi dapat kami, we should not benefit from it. Any changes making it longer, shorter, okay lang siguro. Pero longer, mahirap yan. Congressman, senators, and all. Offices mentioned in the Constitution. So, yun ang akin dyan. Wala ba na akong problema sa changes from time to time. But it must be purely motivated to improve the interest of government and country. It will never be used to promote the ambition or ambitions of Congress or by anybody else, even by the Supreme Court. But besides, if meron man, it should not apply to them, the incumbent, who made the changes, modification. It should be, I said, progressive. It should apply to future elected or appointed people. Para walang...
Not even to the next president.
Not even to the next president. Kasi, you know, the one thing mahirap yan is, when you are the incumbent, dapat nga sa lahat local officials. Alam mo kasi, you should be allowed to resign 6 months before. Precisely to deter you from using the resources of government to fund your candidacy. Governor man, mayor, alam mo na, you will have a lot of advantage if you do that. Mahirap eh. Very fair. Wala naman tayong dyan, but this is democracy. Rotation dapat. Now is the time for Bicolano to be president. Maybe tomorrow from the southwestern part of Mindanao, which would be Zamboanga towards Ulong. I would even relish an Ifugao president. Toro-torno tayo, huwag natin sunod. Hindi maganda eh. Kung magsabit, one term, only, period. 2 terms, tapos bar, forever, pero sundin natin. So, kung saan tayo na ilagay sa posisyon natin ngayon, yung batas na yun, should find us. Isa lang, dapat isa lang.
Mr. President.
Yes, sir. Dennis.
Kung ikaw na ang karoon sa posisyon nila, kung sa'yo ang yung dapat i-amenda sa 1987 Constitution. And secondly, ano sa may tawag na po na itong prayer rally sa Luzon?
The second question is not clear to me.
The second question is, karon sa napulbay ka mo, namatay himuon ng prayer rally sa Luzon.
Wala, I do not think that yung first question is relevant naman yun. Kasi mo, wala naman akong nakita sa horizon na any attempt to circumvent, go around, or move forward, or anything na hindi maganda. I just want to we live on our time. Kung saan tayo dinatngan ng swerte natin sa buhay, Constitution, and your destiny, nandiyan lang tayo. Because this is what a democracy. Do not tinker with the cyclic movement of a democratic state. Do not introduce something which is foreign or not aligned with the original intentions of those who made the charter. Sundin lang natin yung the intention. Kung ginawa 6 years, 6 years. No. Kung nandiyan ka sa 6 years, diyan ka lang. You want to make changes, make it another successively, walang limit, fine. But you should not benefit from it. That is really what democracy is all about. Yes, Kaduayan.
Sir, what made you change your mind? Previously you said no for EI, no for favor the Constitution. What happened?
Change my mind?
Yeah.
I never changed my mind.
Change your position.
I never changed my position because there is only one position. Hindi naman ito kama. Yeah, ang ano doon is really, there is only a term limit of, I said, you should find yourself to where you are or where you were placed. At or is, I don't know which the proper.
So you don't want the president to raise next term of office. So say with the Illinois.
Again?
You don't want the president, a president, or any president.
It's obvious. That's why the Constitution says one term only. So you do not have the privilege of being elected again. You just follow the intent ng gumawa ng ating Constitution. In other words, do not, I mean,
But Mayor, they are saying after the Cebu prayer rally, we changed a lot in terms of perspective, vis-a-vis of people initiative, and political discussion person. One,
no, I've always been a stickler to, you can, there's a record of history of my public life stint in government. I've always been consistent. I never craved for any order than what is given to me by law at that time. Wala ako.
if you were to suggest what provision, what economic provision in the 2017 Constitution should be amended, What would that be?
I don't care if you make the economics libro dyan sa huwag mo lang pakialaman yung constitution. Saksak mo na lahat ang economic provisions ng libro ng encyclopedia kung gusto mo. Let us not, beat around the bush or find excuses to just huwag na tayo magbulahan dito kasi matanda na tayo. We've been long in dito sa gobyernong ito, tumanda tayo. Nakilala kita, naka-short pants ka pa lang. Nagkaalaman na tayo dito kung sa bariya, kalabad-labad ka man sa oras, asking questions.
Sir, Davao, you're saying that you're fine except the general model. So you are fine. Which one should be amended? And which one would they gonna be?
Wala na, kasi dapat doon, kung elected ka doon lang. But if you can do it na i-amend mo, but the problem is, if you amend the Constitution and you are the incumbent president, you have all the resources to get what you want. Kaya mong bilihin pati yung barangay captain, so what result would you want? Huwag na tayo magbulahan dito sa Pilipinas. Sabihin mo, ipatahan natin ng referendum plebiscito. Oh, bilat. Kung gusto ng presidente, the resources are there for him to utilize. Pagkabubog naman niya pag hindi mo matalo ba na. Whatever it is, a referendum or a plebiscite or a resort of a votation or whatever.
Are you saying that if they're going to amend, it's gonna be a downhill because he's the president?
I am saying that it's not the time to make changes in the Constitution. The Constitution is good, very good. The best that we have ever produced. Do not Yes, ma'am. Yung imong kanibang imong anam guol mo marag sinong kadako ng yawa.
As a long message po sa Seguran, nag-mention na he will support for the change of the provision as long as President Marcos will commit to the people that he will not run again. Is it a challenge or?
No. It is a reminder that even presently, you are not supposed to do it.
What if
Ayan nga, sinasabi ko, bahala siya. But you begin to tinker with it. Yan ang sabi ko, do not tinker with the Constitution. Don't. And if it applies to all presidents, don't. Especially prolonging your office there. Don't. Other amendments, fine. Pati congressman, pati masama talaga. Ano? Wala. Ganito na lang. Gusto mong baguhin from ngayon 6 years, you make it 10 years for one term. Maganda. Pero baka sa pangatlong dekada na yan, huwag ngayon. Kung meron man tayong gawin, hindi para sa atin, para na sa mga ating anak. Huwag para sa atin, kasi yan, that would trigger a lot of friction in society. Pagkakaroon ng initanay. And hindi lang man tayo, buti sana kung kami lang mga politiko. We have to deal with the population, we have to deal with religion, kasi ang religion naman, we have to deal with the military, we have to deal with the police, we have to deal with the security guards, we have to deal with the CAFCO. Puro may armas yan eh.
Yes, you're raising your hand.
Sir, you mentioned that you supported President Marcos in the economic charter. Can you give us the rate from 1 to 100 as to
Kanang, kung nabintana, layo ang yawa. No? Matugnaw doon mo na, luspad na gano'n eh. Okay?
Sir, pwede niyo po mabigay yung rating 1 to 100 yung support niyo po ng President Marcos when it comes to economic charter?
100.
If you're going to rate his presidency against the proposed charter, what grade will you give him?
The proposal for what? You have to have,
Economic charter now.
if you make me choose something, make a face on the other side. Cha-cha?
Yeah.
Cha-cha. Well, okay. Walang problema. As long as I said, do not tinker with one particular sentence there about the presidency.
Yes, right. There, we got your point on the term limits that you okay with it for as long as to benefit the current officers. That's the term limit. What about the form of government? What's your take?
I'm comfortable with the presidential type of government natin. It's a Republican form of the government, presidential type. Huwag na natin palitan kasi yan na yung naabutan ng lulo ko, naabutan ng apo ko. Huwag na natin yaka, wala nang may ibang putak. Kayo, kung wala na kang ibang isip, magpunta ka doon sa likod ng bahay ninyo. Tingnan ninyo kung walang tao doon. Alam mo kung ano ang gawin ninyo? Bahala na kung anong gusto mo. Huwag kayo maubusan kayo ng ideas. Bakit mo ibalandra dito yan sa gobyerno pati sa tao? Ilang beses ba tayo fix ng constitution? There was a flawed one. Okay, we may change it. What else? What needs to be done? Something else? Good. But not the prolonging of the barangay captains, nor of the president. Not good. Kung meron man, i-apply yan.
Mayor, ang source, any comment po sa allegation from a Senate resource person at the Senate inquiry alleging that you and Vice President Sara Duterte received a grants or tax grants from Pastor Apollo.
Kami magtanggap ng baril kay Pastor Kibuloy. Ako pa ba ang deliver sa kanya ng kanyon bukas o masinggan? That's a very stupid proposition.
So, wala ka tumawanan Mayor.
It's silly. Bakit ba si Pastor mabigay ng baril sa akin? Saan siya magkuha? Kung magsabi siya wala siyang baril, bigyan ko siya. I'm about almost more than 500 for registered. Collectors ang collectors category ako. Ibig sabihin, bili ako ng bili, pero hindi ko magamit. I can only use one. I can carry a gun only one of the entire collection, maski mag-abot ng 50 million. You're only allowed by the authorities to carry one gun, not even a rifle. Hunting, maybe. Shotgun, okay. But military hardware, wala nga ako eh. All that I had before was military, pero MR. Because sitwasyon, alam mo na, mayor ka, punta ka ng bukid, hindi mo naman naman kung sino yung kalaban mo. Hindi mo talaga alam kung sino ang gustong gorgor sa iyo.
Only 500 mga.
Ako?
Yeah.
Buloy?
Collection. It constitutes private arms already. Do you have one? Even if it's collection.
Yes. Hindi ka kolektor kung iligwit na. Collector is collector. You collect and collect and collect. Hindi ito BIR. Collection ng firearms ito.
Mayor, next statement about the looking projects that was aligned under grant from the CIA. So they I'm CIA office.
Well, I could not really say that I can validate the statement independently yung salita niya. But what I can say is that maybe somehow his life is in danger. Alam mo, ang kaso niya sa Amerika hindi naman dito. Wala naman kaso ni Presidente, si Pastor Kibuloy dito. He's free to move around. And the process there extradition. It's a long process. Hindi rin decision with extradition. It was a treated.
Extraction.
Malit na kaso yan. America would not go into that. America would not waste its time violating a law.
Instead of them being to the session and said, would lead to his arrest, is it possible? Pang-arrest na siya, tumatalo, nag-attend sa cemetery.
Sino?
Si Pastor Buloy. Pang-arrest na sa cemetery. Pinabayuntan siya, susorbo na siya. He doesn't really appear. Pwede ba yun?
May I hear the word again?
Pina-report siya sa second.
I thought... Well, I'd like to ask you a question. What is the equivalent of the word subpoena?
Invitation.
It's not an order. You cannot order an ordinary citizen like me to compel me to report to you. For what? If I don't want. Or if outside but the national interest that you should appear. If we begin to question you, what is the significance of that interest? pastor yan, kung gusto niya. Hindi.
So, maliban sa
It could, because a unreasonable refusal. So maybe the first is invitation, comes the subpoena. A subpoena is more or less like a subpoena of what? Same effect. It can compel your attendance. Pero ako naman, hindi niya, ayaw niya. Ano mo gusto na ganyan? Wala mo na nakita na of national interest mo.
Another topic na
Yes.
our PLP right now seems to be involved in a lot of cases that the millions of pesos na yung in-account na yung planted, sinuha nila for reporting legal police reports na ngayon. At marami ng pagkain na nangyayari. I've seen politicians po napakarami ng bodyguard dahil dapat ko ng trabaho. What is happening with regard to this?
Well, national leadership yun. Alam mo dito sa Pilipinas, wala naman talagang ambos araw-araw eh. Alam mo, pasikatan lang yan. Ako personally, I do not need. Pinipilit na nila yung pulis sa akin eh. Pero ako, I'd rather, if somebody has to die today, tonight, or tomorrow, mas mabuti pa ako kasi matanda na. Kaysa mga pulis, may pamilya pa yan, may mga anak pa. What the heck about going around with so many bodyguard? Hambog mo lang yan. Para sa takot lang yan. All you need is a gun, maybe, and 2 forks. Pag isa lang itlog mo, yan ang problema. O tatlo. Either isa o tatlo. May imbalance eh. Dalawa, tama-tama lang.
Okay. Ngayon, you mentioned basic mo. Dati, papulaan na Kongreso, sumulahan ka ng kampanya
Come to think of it, you know what? Even if they will touch on everything there in the charter, in the Constitution, I will not mind. But make it progressive. Huwag lang mag-benefit tayong kami. Hindi na ako. Yung nakaupo. Huwag mo habain yung bituka mo. Gusto mo na a longer term for the next president would be good for this country, or there will be no limitations at all for as long as he remains to be loyal and a good public servant. Wala man tayong problema na. Kung hindi naman santo. Pero kung tao na matino na nakaupo dyan sa Malacanang, he can stay forever. Ang problema lang ganito, nag-iisip ako ng malalim. Problema kasi, si Jesucristo hindi nag-apply ng certificate of candidacy. Well, gusto mo talaga matino dyan. Jesucristo yan. Kung tao yan, pandor dito, pandor dito. The temptation to make money here and there. At may command. Yan ang bantayan ninyo sa inyong inihalal na mga officials.
Yes, good evening, sir. Ito lang kung ako sa position ako, sa position ako before, when you said, that it will be separated from the Republic.
Vis-a-vis, whether we are, alam mo sa totoo lang, ulit, declare lang. Sabihin ko lang kasi sa ano na, look, you guys, when you think of legislation, we think of your work there as a secretary or as a senator or congressman or whatever. Think always of the Republic of the Philippines. Huwag ninyong pabor-paboran niya kasi hindi lang kayo ang Pilipino. Parang ano lang yung pitik lang yun na reminder, gentle reminder na, shape up because hindi pa naman tayo magkatibo lahat. Yan nga ang problema eh. Pagpunta ka doon sa Ilocos, hindi ka man pwedindihan talaga kung taga-Bisaya ka. Taga-Bisaya ka, magpunta ka doon sa Pulo, hindi tayo magkaintindihan. Kung taga-Mindanao ka, magpunta ka Luzon, tulala ka palagi. Baluktot ang Tagalog mo o ang Bisaya ng Tagalog, mukhang Espanyol pakinggan sa tainga ko.
Another mayor, what do you make out of the voting point Senate hearing under the committee ni Senator Romualdez about the pasok ako ng tuloy not only implicating him but also dragging along your name and the Vice President example?
Wala ba? Anong sinabi niya?
Dragging, getting statements from alleged witness that you're somehow involved in exchange shares, transactions involving firearms.
Involving?
Transactions involving firearms. Sama to be those witness that particular witness saw you and the Vice President bringing that back to the firearms from the passport.
Ako ang supplier ng firearm dito, hindi ako nangingin. Matagal na akong supplier ng firearm, bata pa ako.
At the passport reached out to you when Senate meetings started, especially when witnesses starting to come up. Whether they want these things to get after involving the Vice President,
There are always, we never run out of silly or idiots in government. Let them be. Komportable sila dyan. Komportable rin ako dito. Uy! Si mama pala ito.
Senator Montiveros has warned that after Boloy will be cited from them and will be arrested if he does not show up to the debate hearing on March 5. You are his friend. You are after Boloy's friend. And you are a lawyer. What is your advice to your friend?
Get yourself arrested. This is a free country. If you do not want to go there, get arrested. Give him the free choice.
Can I go back to that constitution?
Yes, what about?
You said a few minutes ago that you are comfortable with the presidential type of government.
President.
But you know that you campaign for veterans and you run for president.
Yeah,
And you have
it has to, let me correct you right there and then. It doesn't mean that it is federal, it is a presidential time.
and let me finish my question first. You said you are in favor, wag na natin palitan, nauna ng lolo ko, nauna ng ako ko. But in 2015, when you campaign for the presidency, you push for a shift, to change the constitution, to shift to a federal system, right?
Right.
Okay. But you had the first half of your term, you had a super majority. But even up to the end of it,
Look, it's just,
why did you not muster enough political will to get that shape to federal system?
to answer your last question, because wala akong enough political will. Second, actually, there's not much different about a federal system being presidential. Oh, there's no incongruity there. Look at America. It's a federal union of federal states, United Nations. It's federal. It's presidential type of government. I do not see any walang nakitang ano doon problema. Pero
Do you not regret that we were not able to do as you promised in 2015?
you cannot have your cake and eat it too. May ang Diyos may ibigay sa iyo, may hindi. So, hindi lahat ng kaligayahan na gusto mo makapkap ko sa mundong ito.
Okay.
There will always be disappointments.
And this was your big disappointment.
Well, I'm talking to you about life. Nothing's perfect.
Yung ano po, kanina,
Ayaw pagpupo na to kay
sinabi nyo rin, that your call for Mindanao, the defense of Mindanao, which you did on January 30 in Wednesday. You said, was that it?
well, that was really that was a legit dream of the old yung mga taga Mindanao. You know, because Mindanao is a frontier country. It is not inhabited by originals except the natives and the Moro people here. So, yung dream of separate, they were looking at a certain place, like my father and mother, migrating toward an island called Mindanao for a better future for the children. Yun yun ang dream. It has always the dream of some people to be independent. Pero if it causes a rupture in our entire system sa Republika, I will not go for it. I will not go for a forced carving out Mindanao out of the Philippines.
Are you saying now that it was just a picnic or a figure?
I am not. I'm not.
There were no papers?
I'm not saying any different. Really, actually.
Kasi wala naman, after you made the call, there were of course this reactions that didn't do.
Well, I said, sinabi ko,
You're saying that now because
give us a better deal for Mindanao. Well, if you studied history, Mindanao has always been a poor relative vis-a-vis with the entire country. ang Mindanao noon, the list for so many years, consistently the lowest in getting public funds for our structure. Kaya tayo pinaka-late nag-bloom. And that was the complaint. Kaya it fueled the revolution. It encouraged people, and some Christians joined the Moro people in clamoring for an independent Mindanao. Klaro yun eh, especially the earliest settlers dito. Na dumating na ang panahon na maganda na ang road network doon sa Mindanao. Punta ka ng Hagonoy noon hanggang Rocky Road. Sa ice cream lang yan. Hindi yan pang gobyerno. Hindi naman talaga nahati. Because the influential leaders and even the national leader, president, has always been there. Parang tayo na nakachamba na sa panahon ba yun? Naroon tayo ng presidente dito. Pero ganun pa man, there was never really a radical change in my. When I'll just be frank with you and everybody here. When I became president, there was never the slightest moment that I was thinking of placing the interest of Mindanao over and above of the entire needs of the entire country. Kung ano lang sabihin ng economic planners at ano lang sabihin ng mga Department of Highways and everything, unahin muna natin ito because I am not as bright as anybody else. I might be a lawyer, good in memorizing. Hanggang dyan lang, memorize. Pero to be an enterprising thing about governance, wala yun. I cannot claim. Ikaw, kanili, may di ka po mo, daw naman ko.
The question was whether are you going to Manila or prayer after another rally in
Of course not. What for?
So the Cebu rally will last.
Just a pretext just to go home to say the alam mo, Cebuano of the years to say something. Any slightest excuse to be there. Pero sabihin mo just to be at the moment because it is demanded. Kaya,
So there's no schedule for now.
no schedule. If you are asking the question in terms of what would be in the future of this country and what would be your views or opinions if this would occur or happen or not. Well, I'm retired. I would like to stay retired. I do not want to meddle in politics. Maski na sa mga anak ko, if they can carry the burden on their own, pagpanya lahat na gusto ko, pahinga. But, Color, kaya ko lang sabihin sa iyo, 40 anyos na gud ako. And if it would want to be comfortable with the number, double it. And that's why.
Can you say last update is panel ko is IM television na
Ako talaga, matotoo lang, I cannot magprangka ako sa inyo. This is for all, and I would repeat it now and forever. I do not want my country dismembered. I do not want a part of my country taken away. I do not want my country to be disturbed physically, even slighted. It goes for Luzon hanggang Pulo. Yung nagising ako sa mundong ito, Republic of the Philippines. For as long as I live, it would be the same Republic of the Philippines. Sa madaging intriga, intrigadura ka yun. Separate. Sa mga separate, magtiayon, mag-separate. You know that. Panghadlok mo lang na. Paano? Yun lang kami ito. Pas ni mo, siya kagyaw-yaw. Gaya no kayong panang. Ito mo kagyaw-yaw, diyaata ka. Wala. Lalapin ako. Ayaw nila, mas lalo ako. Mas matanda ako nila, buka sila.
Even if you're doing it as a share or a thing or whatever, but people say, tayo,
you can craft it the way you want, legislation, or we go into a deeper local autonomy. You can never do what you want. Let it remain a Republic of the Philippines.
So no one talks about being allowed getting off the republic.
Yan lang ang problema, is the distribution of the national wealth. And you know very well, lahat tayo, if you studied your history, lahat tayo, alam natin that Mindanao was really a poor relative of the national government. Ngayon lang ito, magkabawi tayo. Nung presidente ako, hindi ko nga sinabi na bigyan mo lamang ang Mindanao. Patas. Hindi mo naman sabihin na presidente ako, gusto kong bumawi na, o nagkulang tayo noon. Ngayon, panahon ng bumawi. That ain't the way of being a Filipino. Kung ano yung, what's good for the Huluhano, must be good for the Ifugao. Must be good for the Tagalog, and must be good for the Bisaya. Why? If you have to remain a republic, ganun talaga, you better adapt that kind of thinking. Hindi tayo pwede mag-isip-isip na mga Tagalog, Bisaya, or kalukuhan yan. Ngayon pa, katanda-tanda na natin, may mga anak na tayo, ngayon pa tayo mag-isip ng gano'n. I'd like to sabihin ko sa mga Pilipino, stop this. Separate. Na pag mulat ko sa mata ko when I was born, this was a republic. Gano'n na. Huwag mong kunin baski kalahating hektarya yung Samal Island. Magkagulo tayo. Even if you take 1 hectare away from Samal Island, yung bayan ko, yan. Huwag mong galawin. Huwag hindi mag-ubira tayo.
They said you want people to be educated. For a neighbor mountain, Mindanao would be a different country mountain. about it. You got it wrong.
Sabi ko sa iyo, pang-atik lang yun. Ano ka? Kung hindi mo ganun rin kasi yung mga taga-Manila, parang sipain mo yung paa, trip. Utang ina mo, hindi lang ikaw ang Pilipino. Nabuutan rin kami ang pagmana to. Not because of a bluff, but because of a strong statement coming from the Filipino. Adre, hindi lang kayo ang Pilipino. Lahat ang mga minuno natin ang pakamatay sa bayan natin. Do not.
So, instead, be the
Silly. If at all, kung mayroong mag-declare ng independent state, kung gusto lang nila, payag ako, sama nila. Yan. Gusto na mag-declare ng independent sa Malaylan, sali na lang ng likod para may sila pakasyanan.
Mayor, I see that Mayor, yung issue kay President, yung ba challenge mo mag-practice? Challenge mo po.
Si Presidente, wala akong sinabi na gano'n. Mama, you have to, even if you kill me 1,000 times, wala akong sinabi na. Taking is right. Pero kung sabihin mo, adik, wala akong sinabi na gano'n. Patayin ako ni Marcos yan. Maawa ka naman sa akin. Matanda na ako. Wala na nabi noon. If I can say it for to Marcos, I can say it for all. Kayo yung nawa kay antibiotic na tawa kay aspirin. They're all drugs. It's just a nomenclature. Pero wala akong sinabi na pagpatayin ako ni Marcos yan, takot pa naman ako mamatay ng matanda na ako. Gusto ko pa mabuhay mga another hanggang mamatay si Kaduayan. Magsabay kami.
Mayor, 8 months na lang po Mayor, mag-election naman. Marami pa rin yung Davao pushing you to run for Mayor.
Ayoko naman. Let it anybody, not even from my family. You know, corny man pakinggan. If you count the number of years that my father was in public office, isali mo ako. Pati isali mo yung, idagdag mo yun sa mga anak ko. Masyado lang.
Okay, just one last.
Right time na, iba na naman.
Just one last question. That question would come to me. Okay. Mr. Mayor, you said something about our children future. In Daisan, in all the surveys, I've been on the top. Most trusted, most approved, and this department, her department, the Department of Education, has been declared as the most trusted government agency in the country today. As a father, what can you say about the performance of your government?
Well, I think that she's just following my record. Hindi lang na-record properly. Si Kaduwaya kasi yung tikuha ng figures mo sa Manila eh. But I am proud that she's been doing good at public service. Taking into account that, my father has always been, for the longest time, the governor of even the city of Davao before. There was only one Davao, one province, one capital, Davao City. And he used to elect the governor of the entire Davao province and Davao City. So, ganon, ako naman, I would like to thank you, although belatedly, I suppose, salamat po sa mga tao for the number of years given to me as a rare privilege to serve my country as mayor, as congressman, and eventually as president. I just hope that hindi ako nagkulang sa tao. Pero ganun pa man, maski na pahapon na lang ito, ginawa ko talaga ang magagawa ko at wala akong ginawang kalungkuhan. Kailan? ICC? Sabi ko sa kanila, mag-usap na lang sila ng ICC rin dito. Total, magkapareho silang pangalan eh. Yes, you talk to each other, maybe you can understand. No, ganito yan. I would like the President to seek the advice of his legal counsel. Kung ano yung sabihin niya sa mga abogado niya sa Malacanang, sundin niya. Ako, I can take care of my own. Kaya kung saan ba yung ICC na yan? Kaya pasalpin sa mga yawa. Pakialam nila. When my country was being eaten by drugs and everything, nandito ba sila? Putang ina nila. Sabi mo sa kanila, putang mo, Dr. D, sabi mo, putang ina ninyo. Nung sa panahon ng kakapobreo natin dito, nagpatayan tayo dito, pulis ko din, patay dito, patay doon. Patayan tayo ng mga Pilipino. Saan itong mga putang inan to? Where were they? Yung kinakain ng mga anak natin ng droga. Hindi ang droga ang kumakain sa mga anak natin. Saan sila? Putang ina. Tatapos turuan pati kung anong sabihin. Sampalin ko sila. Ano to, kung may makita ako na foreigner magsalita sa akin harap, pag hindi kita sinampal. Ano? Wala mang preso yan. Guilty agad. Did you slap this idiot of the associated whatever? No. Pakialam kayo ng pakialam, hindi naman kayo natutulong. Because look, idiot, if you are not really an idiot because you are an idiot, sino ba naman gustong pumatay sa kapwa-tao niya? Kung may gusto man akong patayin, kayong pumunta dito sa bayan ko. Noong mga minuno namin na walang alam, pumunta kayo dito, you occupied my country for so many years. Spain for 400 years, Americans how many years? And you took like a shit. Ang inaniyong pakunturuan. Talk about human rights. How many years of oppression. Nagtiis tayo sa mga kamay ng mga panyaga. Tangina nila. Tapos kung magsalita ka ng look who's talking ka nga. Wala tayong turuan. Ako ba? Bakit ko patay Pilipino? Mas gusto ko pumatay ng puti. Sila yung may kasalanan, hindi yung Pilipino. Eh, yung ngayon, kung Pilipino ka naman, and you're fucking with drugs, destroying the mga bata, eh, ibang istorya yan. Sinasabi ko naman, tsaka ako nag-warning. At ang warning ko, walang para-para. Wala akong qualified or condition. Huwag mong gawin yung patay, pinaputang ina mo. Lagi.
Ayun. Last po, we are nag-usap po rin ni Pastor in person recently. At saka may dito kayo sa kanya whereabouts. Hindi po pa ba sa Philippines or na?
Si Pastor, sabi ko sa Africa, ka muna magtago. Dahil hindi ka mahalata doon. I really do not know. I do not want to listen us all. Alam mo naman, presidente ako, tapos, I started as a prosecutor, fiscal, mayor, president. I cannot afford to jumble with yung mga ganito, mga bagay na ito. So, alam naman niya, kaya niya, he has the resources and all. And he has a lot of brains to navigate this way. Paano niya paikot-ikot sa buhay.
Okay, thank you very much, Mayor President.